Crow's Nest Mountain. And on the left,
And that's the Crow's Nest Valley, right?
yeah, Crow's Nest Valley, Crow's Nest Pass. Suffer bus.
Just struggle bus.
Struggle bus.
All aboard. One last climb. Then we drop down to camp. Beautiful lake tonight. Less than a kilometer ahead of you is a wonderful subalpine lake at the base of Mount Ward. White bark pine and subalpine fir line the perimeter of the lake. Wildflowers bloom in abundance in the spring. Bighorn sheep and mountain goat frequent the lakeshore for water and grazing. American pika squeak from their talus homes. Occasionally, grizzly bears visit the lake. So here's home tonight. We're at Window Mountain Lake at kilometer... What kilometer is this?
7.
That's it. Do the tent dance.
The very first idea or reason why the trail was created was the idea from the Girl Guides, and that was to connect the Canada parks to each other, right? So the trail was actually built to connect the parks, which is cool.
The history of it goes back over 50 years. The first mention of it that we have recorded is by the Girl Guides of Canada. From there, the idea skipped through a few people to Jim Thorsell. Jim Thorsell was the one who published the Provisional Trail Guide, the first guidebook describing the route. When I say guidebook, that's a pretty generous way of describing a brochure, really, because that's what it was. It was a map with some written description, and he envisioned a route that ran from the southern extent of Banff National Park at Palliser Pass up to Mount Robson in Mount Robson Provincial Park.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you sure this is the right way?
What just happened?
We got lost. We got off the trail. How did that happen?
The trail here is so easy to miss sometimes, but it's actually a pretty good trail today. The GDT did a lot of work and put a bunch of switchbacks in the last year, so it's been super cruisy today.
There's a lot of heart and soul that's going into making the Great Divide Trail better, and that really comes from the GDTA. Used to have, just a handful of members, way back in the 70s, to having over 400 members now.
There would not be a Great Divide Trail if there weren't the volunteers. That whole organization is run fully, aside from me now, only recently, part-time, on volunteerism. And there are just so many amazing volunteers who put so much time in, and not just trail building, but behind the scenes, making sure that we do get to the trail building.
When you talk about the Great Divide Trail Association, there were two distinct phases of the association. First iteration of the association happened in the 1970s. It was founded by a group of people that we now refer to as the Original Six, and they basically went out and they studied the potential for extending Jim Thorsell's trail from Banff National Park down to Waterton Lakes National Park. When they were doing those studies, they found that the land was impacted by primary resource industries such as logging and mining. And so when they founded the Great Divide Trail Association, they were looking for a way to not only gather people and resources to build trail, but also for a way to officially protect the trail. They were able to build about 100 kilometers worth of trail in Kananaskis country, which is south of Banff National Park.
Nice word.
The Great Divide Trail Association had a lot of success in establishing the Great Divide Trail in the late 1970s and early 1980s, but by the mid-1980s, things started to fade out. That changed for the positive soon after the year 2000, when there was a bit of a rekindled interest in the trail. They formed what they called the Friends of the Great Divide Trail. They wanted to not just maintain the trail that existed, but they wanted to really build upon and complete the original vision for this trail and actually build single track connecting Waterton up to Banff National Park.
Thank you.
How was today's hike?
Good. New roads, new bridges. Wow, it was a dream.
This time, there's definitely a focus on maintaining the trail, not just outside of the national parks, but working with the national parks to try and maintain these sections that have fallen into utter disuse. And when I say disuse, I mean like trails completely grown over, unrecognizable, bridges fallen and washed away, campgrounds in total disarray. It's those places where the new Great Divide Trail Association, or GDTA, is focusing their efforts.
It's gonna be cool. Okay, I'm gonna do it. See? Just kidding. It's almost so cold it hurts. I think that's enough. There you go.
We're in the valley about to climb up to Tornado Pass. It's like wild meadows, boulder fields, and bear scat everywhere on the trail here.
As you approach Tornado Saddle, the fine trail will reappear and take you steeply up to the top. Take your time, as this is one of the most challenging ascents on the entire GDT. And if the weather's good, one of the most spectacular too. Tornado Pass.
Tornado Pass.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Oh, fun.
That was awesome. Living like mountain goats.
Put your hoofs in the mountain and go up.
Long way down. It's like 6:30 in the afternoon. We're 26 kilometers into a 34-kilometer day. This is a really beautiful forest, though. Stunning here.
I studied literature. I read many old ancient books and tales and mythology. And the Rockies just look like something from a fantasy world.
This is our first trail register. This trail is hard. Oh, my feet. Still headed north to Kakwa on schedule and having a blast. Washout. Yeah.
Okay.
What you're doing in there?
I'm writing in my journal. Impressions, thoughts, a little bit of everything.
Oh, my feet hurt. Everything hurts. Oh, that's how they do. Why do you think I want to take my shoes off? Oh God. We're like 40 kilometers into the day. It's 7:30 at night, but we have another 5.5 kilometers to go, which will leave 10 to do tomorrow for the end of section B. Oh.
Well-deserved end.
Yeah.
It's been a long trip.
How many kilometers did we just hike in the last 3 days?
Yeah.
Like 100 in 3 days or something. Almost. Oh.